Welcome back with a new math tutorial. In this video we are talking about hundred. As we said before about the fraction is the part of a whole one. Also the decimal could be represented as a part of a whole one. But the denominator of the fraction will be 10 or 100 or 1000 and so on. Once the denominator now is 10, so we are talking about 10. If the denominator equals 100, so we are talking about 100. But if the denominator equals 1000, so we are talking about 1000. So in the lesson of today, we are talking about the fraction with denominator equals to 100. So in this question, we need to write as a decimal 2500. At the first, I will divide the number which written in the word form into two parts. The first part which is 25 and the second part which is 100. So the first part which is 25 will be written up. And the 100, because we have here THS at the end of the word, it means it will be written down. So we have here 25 over 100. If we need to write it as a decimal, all what we have to do, just we write the numerator without any change. Now we have two zeros down. Once we have two zeros down, I will start counting from the right. After two digits, I will put the decimal point. If you remember when we talk about the tenth, because we have only one zero, so I will start counting from the right one digit, then put the decimal point. Now we are talking about 100. 100, it means we have two zeros. Because we have two zeros, so I will start counting two digits from the right, then put the decimal point. So it will be equal 0.25 as a decimal form. And we can write it as a word form, 2500. Also the same in question number 2. We have 7300. 73, it will be written up. And the 100 will be written down. So we have 73 over 100. To write as a decimal, it will be 73, because we have 100. I will start counting two digits from the right because we have only two zeros, then put the decimal point. So it will be 0.73. In question number 3, we have 4900. Because we have 49, it will be up. And 100, it will be down. 49 as the numerator. Because we have 100 down, so I will start counting from the right two digits, then put the decimal point. We count two digits because we have only two zeros at 100. When we are talking about 10 at denominator, so we count one digit from the right. Suppose that we have 1000 down, so I will start counting three digits. If the denominator is 10, so it will be 10th. But if the denominator is 100, so it will be 100. If the denominator is 1000, so it will be 1000. In question number 4, we need to represent the decimal 0.51. As we said before, this shape we divide into 100 equal parts. Each column represents 10. So if I need to represent 0.51, number 1, I will shade 5 columns. Those 5 columns represent the 50. And because we need 51, so I will just shade one small square. Now we need to write as a decimal. We have only two small squares, so it will be 2. And the total number of squares will be 100, so it will be 2 over 100. Now we need to write it as a decimal. Just write the numerator without any change. Now we need to count after two digits. That is the first digit 1 and the second digit is missing. Once we have missing digit, we will replace it with 0. So it will be represented as 0.02. Again one more time. Now we have only two small squares. That's represented by 2. And now we have the denominator is 100, so I will count two digits from the right. Two digits from the right, we have only one digit. The missing digit we will complete it with 0. After that, I will put the decimal point. So the number in the form of a decimal will be 0.02. Now in question number 6. The first column here represents 10. And the second one represents 10. So we have 20. Then after that, I will count the small squares. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It means we have 26. 26 out of 100. Because we said we divide this shape into 100 squares. Now it will be equal. Just write the numerator without any change. Because we have 100 down, so after two digits, I will put the decimal point. So it will be 0.26. In question number 7, we need to count the small squares. You will find that we have only 7 squares. And that will be 7 out of 100. Because we said this shape represented by 100 small squares. If you need to write it as a decimal, just we write 7. And because we have 100 down, it means after two digits, I will put the decimal point. So 1, 2. There is a missing number here, so we'll replace it with 0. So after that, I will put the decimal point, so the answer now will be 0.07. In question number 8, you will find that we have 5 full shaded columns. Each one of them represents 10. So we have here 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. It means we have 50. And if you count the small square, you will find that will be 9. So we have 59. 59 out of 100 small squares. So it will be equals. Just write 59. And because we have here 100 down, so I will start counting 2 digits, then put the decimal point. So it will be 0.59. Now if you look at question number 9, you will find that we have 7 full columns, which represent 70, and 1 small square, so it will be 71. So we have here 71 out of 100. To write it as a decimal, just we write 71, and because we have 100, count 2 digits from the right, then put the decimal point. So it will be 0.71.